Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Shivat Samanafshi. Here, Shlomo Kerv Zoom. We are now learning the Maram in Prague. This is very extremely relevant to Chag Shavuos. We're talking about the essence of the giving of the Torah to Klal Yisrael and the essence of our relationship with Kadosh Baruch Hu because of our Kabbalah Torah.
It's the 22nd of May.
We are now in paragraph 12. Paragraph 12. Okay, yes, who would we like to begin reading? We're again in paragraph 12. And again, as I said, we're in the middle of the essence of the Maharal in Prague's explanation of the basis of the relationship of Kadosh Baruch Hu to Klal Yisrael, that it's essentially a Avos She'eino Tolui B'Davar, and how the Kabbalah Torah and the Sinus Torah relate to that as well. Okay, yeah, who's going to begin for us?
I will.
Okay.
I'm not. Im Tomar Efshar. Let me just close the door. I'm sorry.
Well, good morning, Roy. How are you today, too? Roy was with us, I think. Okay. Yeah.
Efshar shet haya haTorah leuma acharas. Okay, so Amnam is however.
Yes, however.
However, if you say it's possible that there would be the Torah what's Leuma?
To a nation, to another nation. Perhaps, however, if you want to suggest that it's possible that the Torah should be to another nation rather than Klal Yisrael.
Okay. Devar zeh el ya'aleh al da'as ha'adam. This thing would go up onto the mind of men.
This thing, al yala, don't bring it up to a person's mind. I mean, don't think about such a thing.
Don't let it go up upon your mind. Okay. Sheha nim tsaim biklal yesh lechol echad ve'echad seder miyuchad asher hava sadru miyuchad alav. That we will find, or you will find, a general rule that there is for each and every person an order that's special, that this order, this special order is upon him.
Right. This is a continuation of what the Maharal discussed, what we did yesterday. The Maharal yesterday was dealing with the question that the giving of the Torah to Klal Yisrael was not for our benefit. It was because that we were chosen to be the ones that the Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted to accept the Torah and fulfill the Torah. And just as everything, and that's a decree from the Kadosh Baruch Hu, and that giving of the Torah to us was not for our benefit. It was for a certain purpose that the Kadosh Baruch Hu had in mind. The Kadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah because he, Kadosh Baruch Hu, had a purpose in mind that there should be a nation that is fulfilling the Torah. Just as Kadosh Baruch had in mind a specific decree, as I used the example yesterday for orange trees, that they should create oranges, right? And the oranges for the tree are not for the benefit of the tree. The oranges are really for the benefit of other things, right? Aside from the fact that, as we mentioned, that the oranges are also instrumental in the continuation of the of propagating more trees. But the oranges essentially are not there for the benefit of the tree. Likewise, the Torah, the fulfillment of the Torah, is not there necessarily for our benefit. That was not why we're given the Torah. That's not why we accepted the Torah. That's not why we fulfill the Torah. Not for our benefit. The reason we're keeping the Torah is for the purpose of the fact that the Kadosh Baruch Hu wants there to be Torah in the world, and there has to be a specific nation which is fulfilling the Torah, and that was chosen, Klal Yisrael, to do that. That is our tafkid. Just like the tree of oranges is a tafkid to produce oranges, our tafkid, that's what he's referring to, the seder. The seder, which is the arrangement of what things are supposed to do in the universe, in existence, is a specific thing. So we can't suggest and think that perhaps the Kadosh Baruch would give the Torah to another nation, because it's been as specified before in the previous paragraph, that each thing, as he says now, right, each and everything that is in existence is a specific place in the hierarchy of existence, asher hu yusudra miyuchad love, in which it exists in a specific place in the hierarchy of existence. So Klal Yisrael has its specific place in existence, and that can't be replaced by another nation having the Torah.
Ve'eno roy oso seder le'acher. And it's not proper for there to be another organization, another order.
Yeah, this word seder, right? This word seder, as the Maharal is using, is a bit of a difficult concept to put into one particular word. It's it says somewhat, I would say it's sort of a an arrangement. It's arranged, right? The arrangement that everything has in what it is specifically to itself, and how it fits into everything else in existence, is a specific arrangement. There's a specific arrangement for it, and no other type of a arrangement.
Okay, Kach Seder HaTorah Vaha Mitzvos. This is the arrangement of the Torah and the mitzvos.
Right. Likewise, the Torah and mitzvos were also likewise arranged.
Likewise to what? Likewise to the Jewish people?
To everything. That the place and the purpose of Klal Yisrael in existence is specific, is specific to what we're doing, and specific into how it fits into everything else. Right. Okay.
Weiter?
Yeah.
אי אפשר רק לעם Yisrael. It is impossible only for the nation of Israel. Ad she'haTorah haya sidram hamiyuchad lahem. Unless that the Torah is arranged specifically for them.
That the Torah, meaning ad, not ad she'atorah haya sodrom meyuchla. The Torah is especially arranged for them. The Torah is especially arranged for them.
So I don't get the word rock. Efshar rock la'am Yisrael. It is impossible only for the nation
Right.
of Israel. What is the
Right.
why is the word rock in there?
Right. The arrangement of Torah and mitzvahs is impossible except for the Jewish nation. Ad
Except I see. Okay, go ahead.
Ad so much so Torah hayesudram miyuchad lehem. So much so that the Torah is arranged specifically for them.
Velo efshar zeh la'am acher. And this is not possible for another nation.
Right.
Well, that belies the midrash that says that Hashem offered the Torah to the other nations. If it's impossible that the Torah could work with the other nations, then Hashem was being dishonest in offering it to them, to be Yaakov.
Okay, hold on. We'll hold on to that question. We'll be dealing with that. Hold on.
Kasher Torah bachush im or am shehem modim b'Torah ad gevula lo ba'u lekayem osa. Let's see. That the Torah, what is bachush?
As we see in reality, Bachush is in we see this empirically.
Empirically. A nation that they give thanks for the Torah, since their strength does not come with the establishment of it.
Okay, one second. Below it's not possible for for any other nation. Kasher Torah, as we see this empirically, am shehem modim b'Torah, al gevula lo bo l'kaimaso. We have nations. We have nations that are admitting to the Torah, but there's a limit that they don't come to fulfill it. Meaning there are many nations that they admit to but they don't even approach an attempt to fulfill it. right? Because
They don't.
it's not possible. They're not they can admit to the Torah, but because it's not for them, it's impossible for them to fulfill the Torah.
V'chol zeh muchach ki ein haTorah chelkam klal. And with all of this, what is muchach?
It's provable. It proves. With all this, it proves.
With all this, we have proved ki ein, since there is not the Torah portion at all.
Right. All of this proves that the Torah is not part of their portion. It's not part of their existence.
All of this being the previous sentence, which says they don't fulfill the Torah.
Right. Even we see empirically, even though they admit to the Torah, but they don't fulfill it at all, because it's not possible for them to fulfill the Torah. It's not within their abilities. Just like birds have the ability to fly, and you don't see other species of creatures trying to fly because it's not within their ability to fly. Likewise, all the other nations, they admit to the Torah, but it's not within their ability to fulfill the Torah because it's not within their capabilities.
This is not really making any sense to me.
What's let me hear, what's the difficulty?
Well, you're saying this is an empirical proof because we see that there are nations that admit to the Torah but don't keep it. First of all, I don't see that there are nations that admit to the Torah. The other nations.
That's because you live in the last 200 years, where the nations of the world have been corrupted with false ideas like evolution and psychology. But in previous generations, all the nations agreed to the Torah. All the major religions agreed. They included the Torah in their own books.
You mean, like, for example, the Muslims respect the Torah as being also true?
They never denied it. No one ever denied that the Torah was given to the Jews, and no one ever denied it. They may say that they want to make revisions, they want to make extra things to it. They want, but no one came out and ever tried to deny the truth of the Torah. That was something that the Reform Jews 200 years ago started doing.
How can we expect that the nations will keep the Torah when they're not allowed to learn the Torah?
First of all, I'm not sure if they know they're not allowed to learn the Torah, but teaching them Torah and keeping the Torah are two different things. If they don't want to lend with rivers, they want to sit in a sukkah, they want to take a lulav, they want to listen to shofar, right? Keeping Shabbos, they get their chayamis if they keep Shabbos, but even to a minimal extent, we don't see them even attempting to keep the Torah.
All right, let's go on. I'm not really following. The kol zeh be'oro hachamim emunasam b'meseches avodah zarah. And all of this appears as the wisdom that we find in Avodah Zarah.
We see in the Gemara, in Avodah Zarah that the Chazal explain there in Avodah Gemara, in many other places, all the Kasif, they explain the pasuk in Devarim, right? Take a look at the pasuk in Devarim.
Oh, Devarim Lamed Gimel.
Right. They quote Hashem Sinai Ba. If you want to take a look at the Rashi, the Rashi says that explicitly. Take a look at the Rashi. You have the Devarim Lamed Gimel's pasuk base.
I'm finding it. Lamed Gimel Bet. Lamed Gimel.
Good morning, Roy.
Good morning, Rabbi Furst. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Roy.
Okay, he said Hashem came from Sinai and he shone forth to them from Seir. He appeared from Mount Paran and he came with some of the myriads of the holy. From his right hand he presented a fire of law to them. Rashi says he first commenced with praise of the omnipresent, and after that commenced with giving blessings which dealt with the needs of Israel, and in praise of God with which he commenced, there is mention of praise of Israel. And all this is by way of engendering God's goodwill towards Israel, as if to say, these people are worthy to have blessing take effect on them. So I continue?
Yeah. Then we need the next part of
Came from Sinai. He went out towards them. When they came to stand at the bottom of the mountain, like a groom who goes out to greet the bride, as it says, towards Hashem, we have thus learned that he went out toward them. And he shone forth to them from Seir, for he proposed to the children of Esav that they accept the Torah, but they did not want to. He appeared to them from Mount Paran, for he went there and proposed to the children of Ishmael that they accept it, but they did not want to. And he came to Israel with some of the myriads of the holy, and with him were part of the myriads of angels of the holy, but not all of them, nor even most of them. This is not like the practice of man who is flesh and blood, who displays all the glory of his wealth and splendor on the day of his wedding. A fire of law. The Torah is called by this name, for it was written before him of old in black fire upon white fire. He gave it to them on the tablets, the writing of his right hand. Alternatively, a fire of law is to be understood as Targum Onkelos renders it, for it was given to them out of fire. That's it.
Okay, very good. So the main point was from that Rashi, you see that pasuk is the source of our knowledge the Kodesh Baruch went to Esau and offered them the Torah. Went to Ishmael and offered the Torah likewise with all the other nations, right? And they did not accept it, the Torah he's dealing with right now, right? Because we're saying that it's impossible that any other nation can accept the Torah. And so again, we have the Kadosh Baruch Hu by offering the other nations to them the Torah. So hold on, we're working on that. Hold on. Let's continue on. He quotes the pasuk, right? Hashem is Sinai Bo. Malamed, right? Go ahead.
We're back to the
To the last two lines of paragraph 12. Right?
okay. Let's see. Melamed she hachzir hakadosh baruch hu es haTorah al kol omos velo ratzu likabla rak Yisrael. So we learned that Hashem returned the Torah to all the nations. I guess he presented the Torah to all the nations, and they didn't want to accept it.
Right. Kadosh Baruch Hu offered the Torah to all the nations, right? And they didn't accept it except only only Klal Yisrael.
That this always bothers me. The Jewish people said Nasev Nishma, but then we had to have the mountain held over our head. We didn't really accept the Torah willingly. We were forced.
Yeah.
Now the Jewish people had been the recipients of tremendous pressure because Hashem had performed the 10 plagues, took us out of Egypt, performed the splitting of the sea, the miraculous destruction of the Egyptians. We had received all of this, and it was in this context that Hashem said, "Here's the Torah. Do you want it?" Well, of course we're going to say yes. The nations, Hashem comes to the nations and says, "Here, you want this contract? You've got to agree to do all this stuff." And they're going, Why should I do that? They didn't receive all those benefits. They weren't in a position to have trust in Hashem because Hashem hadn't demonstrated any of that stuff to them like he did to the Jewish people. This is not a fair comparison at all.
It's even. I'll give you if you have a you have a fellow in he's an undergraduate in university.
What?
Right? He's undergraduate in university. Right. So he gets called into the dean's office, the dean of the university. And he sits him down. And this fellow's a freshman in college. And the dean takes out a paper, a diploma, giving him a PhD in any subject you want. Right. So the dean is taking out the paper. He's saying to him, "Look, I'm going to write you a diploma. Writing you a diploma." So this first to himself. Well, listen, I didn't take all the. I didn't even finish my undergraduate. I didn't do a master's. I didn't do any PhD, and here he's giving me a diploma. Give me a diploma right there on it. All the work you have to do for your master's, all the work you have to do for your PhD, whatever else you have to do, all the time and expense and the testing and all that. No, he's giving it straight. He's got it on the table. He's got it on the desk right there. He's got his pen. Just tell me your name and I'll fill it in. Be a fool not to take the diploma.
Right.
Kadosh Baruch was giving the rest of the nations he's giving them a diploma. That's a Kadosh Baruch Hu. You're going to ask the dean why he wants to do it. Take the diploma and ask the questions later.
But your muscle is not taking into account the fact that the Torah, unlike a diploma, it requires a lot from us. A diploma doesn't require anything. Diploma is just saying, here, you did it. We acknowledge you completed the program. But the Torah says you can't steal, you can't murder, you can't do Gilead. There's a lot of conditions in the Torah. The Torah is very hard. It's 613 mitzvos.
Well. So what did Esav say? What did Esav say?
He said, what's in it? And Hashem said, you can't murder.
All right.
He said, well, I don't like that condition.
Well, let me ask you a question. Did B'nai Noach murder?
I'm sorry, what?
B'nai Noach murder?
Did B'nai Noach what?
Did Noach murder?
Oh, did B'nai Noach murder?
No, not B'nai Noach. Noach himself.
No.
I don't think
Oh, B'nai Noach. Sorry,
one of the seven mitzvahs. One of the seven mitzvahs of B'nai Noach is they cannot kill. They cannot murder.
right.
So what was Esav's asked question and what was Esav's answer? They lost out. If you keep the Torah, you have to have Edis and Osra to be Chayiv Misa. Ben Noach does not need Edis and Osra. They immediately Chayiv Misa if they do murder. Gezel. What did Hashem ask Yishmael? You want the Torah, and what did Yishmael say? My Ksiba, and what did Hashem say? You can't steal. So he said, I don't want it. Can B'nai Noach steal? A ben Noach, if he steals Pachot Mishta Fruta, Ben Noach is Chayiv Misa. Klal Yisrael, you have to see it. First of all, for Gezel, Klal Yisrael is not Chayiv Misa for Gezel. And it has to be, for Gezel, it has to be at least a Sheva Pruta. Here, I don't know if you hear. We're stuck. We're all frozen.
Yeah, your image is kind of jumping around. I can't really hear you.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you either.
Can you hear him, Roy?
Yes.
Okay, well, my connection.
Let me ask you a thing. When a Kadosh Baruch Hu went to the Goyim and asked him this question, you think he went to He went to the local bars to ask him this question. He asked the local drunks about this question.
I don't think so. No, he asked the top people.
Yeah, I would imagine he asked the top people. Probably went to Cambridge, Harvard, right? Went to the Senate, went to the White House. He didn't ask the local drunks what they thought about this. They lost out.
But,
If
but
they had
Hashem,
accepted the Torah, they wouldn't be.
when
If they
Esau
accepted the
said,
Torah,
"What's
they
in
wouldn't
it?"
be
Did Hashem say to him,
Chayav Misa on the Rosh Meshever Pruta? They would need Edis and Hosra.
when Hashem said to Esau, when Esau said to Hashem, "What's in it?" Did Hashem say to Esau, "You can't murder"? But by the way, if you do what I'm commanding you, you'll get all these benefits. You'll have rain, and you'll have food, and you'll have wealth. And did he tell him all that?
What Hashem gave, I'm sure, I have no doubt Hashem gave him the fairest choice in the world. Let's continue on with number 13.
Okay, so we're up at 13.
Yeah.
The ukamo shebe arno bichibur gevoros Hashem. This is like what is Sheba Arno?
Like we explained, like from the Bir Halach is the explanation of the Halacha. Bir Arno,
This is like
as we explained.
With the choice of the greatness of Hashem.
Chibur is the Sefer Gevoros Hashem u'Bechibur Tiferes. He explains this furthermore in the Sefer Gevoros Hashem and the Sefer Tiferes Yisrael.
She'ein mochein the Torah hazos rak Yisrael bilvad. That the Torah is only appropriate for Israel. Ve'ein safek b'devar hazeh. And there's no doubt about this. Ki chol ma'aseh Hashem yisbarach asher bara ba'olamo. Because all of the deeds of Hashem, may he be blessed, in which he created the universe, Efshar lomar sheyeh bahem chiluf utemura. It's impossible to say that it would be with them. What is chiluf?
Chiluf is a alternative.
An alternative. And what is mura?
Utamura is a substitute.
Substitute. It's impossible to say that there is an alternative substitute. Umikol shechein ki nesinas haTorah shehu al hakol. How much more so that the giving of the Torah, it is for everyone, for everything.
That
Ein efshar.
meaning each and everything that a Kadosh Baruch Hu has created, each and everything that Hashem has created, it's impossible that it could have an alternative or a substitute, and even more so the giving of the Torah, which is relevant for everything. If all the details of existence are impossible to switch or to have substitutes or alternatives to them, right? And those are the details. So kol v'chomer, even much more so, the Torah itself can't be switched or have an alternative, because it's something which is relevant to the whole of existence.
Eich efshar lomar sheyiyeh efshar b'zeh chiluf l'tseis la'am acher. Devar zeh lo yitachein klal. How is it possible to say that it is possible that this alternative, that there is an alternative to give to another nation? This matter is not. What is yitakein?
Possible. Yitakein is possible. It's impossible.
This is not possible at all.
Right. So okay, well we'll need to stop. So just briefly, because you mentioned you asked the question. So briefly, when we have to understand that when the Medrash is talking about that the Kadosh Baruch Hu offered the rest of the nations the Torah, Pashtus is talking about Hashem was offering Torah Shebeksav to the rest of the nations. Just like when Kadosh said Na'aseh v'nishma, we were saying primarily Na'aseh v'nishma on Torah Shebeksav. The Torah Shebal Peh, we didn't say Na'aseh v'nishma. That's what Tosfos explains in the Gemara in Shabbos, that when Hashem turned the Har Kegigis, he picked up Har Sinai over Klal Yisrael's head and said, if you accept the Torah, fine. If not, this is going to be your graveyard. That was a coercion of sorts on the acceptance of Torah Shebal Peh. But Torah Shebeksav, we said Na'aseh v'nishma, he had already accepted that. And the Kadosh Baruch Hu, going from one nation to the next, offering them the Torah, that was primarily, as I understand it, Torah Shebeksav. Torah Shebal Peh was not ever intended to be offered to the non-Jews. The non-Jews, had they accepted Torah Shebeksav, so they would have their Torah as we know it in the Sefer Torah, and they would be obligated to keep it as we understand it from the basic psukim of the Torah. But the information that's given to us in terms of the mitzvahs and the fulfillment of mitzvahs through Torah Shebeksav, the Gemara, that they wouldn't have an obligation to keep. So there would be essentially Torah by Klal Yisrael, both Torah Shebeksav and Torah Shebal Peh, and had they accepted it, there would be Torah Shebeksav by the non-Jews. But that's all if they had accepted it. But we know that they didn't accept it. Yeah. Okay. Let's stop here. We'll have to get ready for the Mishnah Berurah in a few moments.
All right then. Thank you, Rabbi Furst. Um,
Fine, very good. We'll continue tomorrow. Roy, have a good afternoon. Hope to see